Hello everyone. Our group would like to present about library management system. But first of all, I will introduce our group member one by one. Nur Adli Safia binti Rosli as our project manager. Nur Dazrin binti Khairi as our database designer. Nurul Farhana Natra binti Johari as database analyst. Alia Shazana binti Yusri as a programmer 1 and Siti Nur Atira binti Wan Omar as a programmer 2. This is the role and responsibility for project manager, which is a software project manager is the most important person in a project team who takes the overall responsibilities to manage the software projects and plays an important role in the successful completion of the project. A project manager has to face many difficult situations to accomplish this works project. In fact, the job responsibilities of a project manager range from invisible activity like building up team morale to highly visible customer presentations. Some of the responsibilities of project manager are writing the project proposal, project cost estimation, scheduling, project staffing, software process, tailoring, project monitoring, and control. For database designer, the database designer who is responsible to defining the detailed database design, including table, index, views, constraint, triggers, store procedures, and store procedures, and other database-specific constructs needed to store, retrieve, and delete persistent objects. This information is maintained in the artifact, which is called data model. The scope of the tasks performed by the database designer role vary depending on the size and complexity of the persistent data storage mechanism used for the project. For database analyst, the database analyst who is responsible to maintain data storage and access by designing physical database. A database analyst has to maintain data dictionary by revising and entering definitions, maintain clients confident, and protects operation by keeping information confidential, maintains technical knowledge by attending educational workshops, reviewing publication, establishing personal networks, and participating in technical societies. They also need to determine changes in physical database by studying project requirements, identifying database characteristics such as location, amount of space, and access method, and changes database system by coding database descriptions. And lastly, programmer. Computer programmer create instructions for computers to generate meaningful output. It is the responsibility of the computer programmer to write code and manipulate it into a language that the computer can understand and follow. They work closely with IT staff, managers, and end users in the organization or client to develop, maintain, and test computer programs. Computer programmers respond to notification by users of flaw in program.
1.1 Problem Statement. This study will support and manage library transaction and services in UiTM Perak Cawangan Campus Nepal. The library management system will be developed for a design of library monitoring system in response to the problems in the current manual library operations, services, transaction, and lack of security. The data of the manual library were not secured with the respect to the confidentiality of reports and documents of library transaction. Next is lack of data storage. There were a lot of library files, reports, and documents which were not well saved. Lastly is slow retrieval of data. The viewing of library reports and files in terms of issuing and returning of books were not well implemented. 1.2 Project Objectives. First, to design a system that provides much more easy ways for librarians to borrow and return books on online system. Next is to develop the current system or beta, because most of the time librarians need to go through manual ways to borrow or return book when the machine is broke down. Lastly, to evaluate more amount of data that can be stored in the system.
First, when librarian log into the system, it will send student details to be recorded in staff record data store. Then, staff record data store will send feedback to the librarian. Secondly, when process borrowing book, librarian will send book information to go through borrow book process, and borrow book process will send borrow book information to borrow record data store. Then, borrow record data store will send borrow book information to go through report process and send it to management. Thirdly, when process returning book information happen, librarian send return book information to go through the return book process and send the return book information to be stored in book data store. Then, return book information will be sent from book data store to go through the report process and send it to the management. Before process returning book happen, borrow record data store will send borrow book information to go through return book process and save it in book data store so that the information about book that have been borrowed before will be recorded in the system. Lastly, when librarian check whether they got fined or not, when they late to return the book on the date that have been recorded, librarian will send fine details to go through the. When librarian pay the fine details, they will go through process pay fine, and fine detail will be sent to the borrow record data store. And when it's already recorded, the fine will be updated to the librarian.
Okay, so first of all, the student needs to sign in into the system. Next, the student needs to key in the date returned, date borrowed, and also the book informations into the systems. And after that, the staff will sign in into the system to view all the students' informations and for the system to do all the process. After the process happened, the system will return the penalty status to the student, and after the student pays off the penalty, the staff will update and delete the penalty unless the updated penalty can be viewed by the student.
This is the ERD for library management system. One student can borrow many books, and one book can be borrowed by only one student. There is PKFK on student ID and book ID because table borrow is the bridge between student and table book. So let's move on to table staff. One staff may record many borrow process, but one borrow process can be only recorded by one staff. One student many written process can have only one penalty, and one penalty can be one penalty can be paid by only one student.
Okay, so this is our homepage of library management system. Our focus is more on borrowing and returning. So at our homepage, we have 3 buttons, which are introduction, contact us, and login button. First, when you click on introduction, it will redirect us to the introduction page. In this introduction page, we introduce to the user what is the purpose of this website. And then, to go back to the home page, we click go back button. So it will redirect you back to the home page. Next is contact us button. If we click there, it will redirect us to the contact us page. On contact us page, we have insert. If there are any inquiries regarding the system, user can contact us at eximius@gmail.com. So just like before, if we want to go back to the home page, just click on the go back button, and here we are on the home page. So next, if you want to log in, you can just click on the login button. So there is the page for student to log in their details such as ID and password. Okay, so first you just have to log in. Okay, and then click submit. Then it will be redirected to the next page, which the students can choose whether they want to borrow book, return book, or pay fine. First, you want to borrow book. Okay, after you have clicked the borrow book button, it will redirect you to the form for student, which they have to insert the details of the book that they are borrowing. Okay, first book title, for example, my X and Y's. The book ISBN is the type of the book is romance, and the date of borrow is and then you click submit after you have entered all the details, and then you are you will be redirected to the thank you message, where the message says that thank you for borrowing book with us, don't forget to return the books. Okay, after that you can go back to the home page just by clicking the button. Okay, then you'll be redirected back to the home page. Next, if you want to go to the okay, next, if you want to return book, first you have to log in just like before. Okay, and then enter the password, and then click submit, and then click the return book option. So just like the same, you just have to enter the details and then date of return. For example, maybe we put 14 or maybe 10. Oops, sorry, 2019. Okay, and then submit, and then the thank you message will be displayed, and you can just go back to the home page just by clicking the button. Okay, next, if you want to pay fine, you can log in back,
and then go to insert the details, submit, and then you can pay fine by clicking this button. Enter the days. For example, maybe you miss 3 days, you return the book 3 days late, and then for example the fine for 1 day is 20 cent, so it will be 60 cent. So submit, and then the thank you message will be shown. So yeah, that is our system. We were really trying to make a better system. Thank you.